What's up guys, it is your boy Jay, and after Ruben Amorim has lost to Brentford 3-1, I have a question. Can we save Ruben Amorim at Manchester United and make them at least a decent force? Let's find out. This is your boy Jay and welcome to the FC26 Manchester United rebuild. But before the video starts, can you please make sure to like, comment and share on this video, and please subscribe to the channel as it will help the channel so much. Thank you guys so much. Right, so let's get into it. Let's sign that contract. So what deals did we decide to do? So we mostly just sold or loaned everyone that I wanted to get rid of. The lot. Sure, these guys out on loan. Militia, Mount, all gone. And where did it lead us to? We didn't sign anyone because I put a restriction on us to not sign anyone in the first window because it just went. But we are at Wembley to face Newcastle United in the FA Cup final. What a way to start off a rebuild by just basically going straight into our first season's cup final. But it wasn't a great start. Elanga passes to Barrios. Wissa gets his foot on it and we could not save it, meaning that 19 minutes in, Yohan Wissa, in his sixth appearance in the cup, gets his second goal in the final. 1-0 to Newcastle. There's all the fans going crazy up in Newcastle. But then Sesko, the big new striker signing this season for Manchester United, gets the ball, shoots it at a really weird angle, but it doesn't matter because Benjamin Sesko gets his first goal in this rebuild, his fourth in the FA Cup in 6 games. 1-0 to Manchester United. Well, 1-1, not 1-0, but hey, we'll see how that goes. Then Gordon, look at this, look at this, look at that for a back shot. How does that work in any universe? How does that work in any universe? That is the worst goal I think I've ever conceded because of how stupid it is. But you think we was out? No, we are not. Fernandes gets the ball, passes straight over to Sesko, shoots it with his foot, and just like that, Benjamin Sesko gets his 5th goal of the FA Cup to bring it back to 2 apiece as the Man U players are going crazy, which led to extra time. In the 99th minute, Missouri gets the ball, passes through to Sesko, and he gets his hat-trick. It was a bit unlucky for Nick Pope, the goalkeeper, but we have managed to score a hat-trick with Benjamin Sesko and for us to finally lead this game 3-2 to Manchester United. And after all the pain that we went through in that game, we lost the game twice and only led it once, but in the time that we led it, it was enough. Manchester United win the Emirates FA Cup 3-2 against Newcastle United. We don't do that well in the league, but we will at least qualify for European competitions once again. We qualified for the Europa League as Manchester United wins the FA Cup. We have won a trophy in the first time of asking, which is absolutely amazing and the best way to start off this rebuild. But we wasn't going to do any well in the league. Final game of the season, don't even have players for the bench, doesn't even matter. Finishes 2-2 between us and Brighton. And I might as well show you these if we get these, but the player of the season will not go to a Manchester United player, it will go to Alexander Isak of Liverpool FC. But one thing we can celebrate, if we can't win the player of the season, at least we can go ahead and have a trophy bus celebration for winning the FA Cup. We brought nobody in, sold a lot of dead weight, loaned what could be some potential stars for Manchester United and won the FA Cup. Second season, we bought back Scott McTominay and bought in Ezri Konsa, loaned out a lot of dead wood, and even sold Onana, which is the best thing in this rebuild that we can do. We also sold people like Gore, loaned out a lot of people, bought in a lot of people, sold Rashford to Brentford, which is funny. And then we bought in Angel Gomez, who used to be a former Manchester United player, and Rafael Leo. And look, we even did all the numbers correctly. See, that's how dedicated I am to this rebuild. I'm even doing the numbers of the reserves properly. So first off, in the Europa League, we smash Portuguese side SC Braga 7-1 in aggregate. Then we had AC Milan, the club we bought Leo from, and it was a 2-0 on aggregate. We then had Dutch side AC in the semi-finals, 3-1 up already, 5-1 against the Dutch side, which means before the game, actually, we did have a bit of a hotel mayhem. We don't have enough energy, but energy means nothing to me at the Estadio Jose El Farad, I think I said, because today we're going to be facing Portuguese side SL Benfica in the Europa League final. People like Konsa and McTominay have gone into this team absolutely well, as you can see. There is Konsa, there is Scott McTominay starting in the Europa League final, with Missouri actually doing well, and a lot of players on the bench, all those reserves, you might actually see, and one might actually matter. Scott McTominay gets the ball through over to Sesko. He's going to take it on himself, and he manages to get the first goal of this Europa League final half an hour into the game. Benjamin Sesko is proving to be clutch when it comes to cup finals. 1-0 to Manchester United. But then Luke Bacchio has a shot, goes straight through to Broma. Should have done better to defend it, I'm not going to lie. But 35 minutes in, so about 5 minutes later, SL Benfica actually manages to get the equaliser, his 9th goal in his Europa League campaign this season. Half-time, 1-1 between both teams. So with us being still at 1-1 with 15 minutes left to go, we bring on Gomez, we bring on Agone, Amas, all those players trying to get a goal, but there's one name that wasn't mentioned, Kana Biek, who actually manages to score the second goal. Yeah, the guy who doesn't even have a number on the Wikipedia page for Manchester United. I gave him a random number, and he actually gets the second goal for us in this final, which I'm still confused about to this day. But Ivanovic gets the ball, passes through to Koku, I'm going to say his name, and with 6 minutes left to go, he gets his first goal in the Europa League, and the goal that keeps Benfica in this Europa League final. Ladies and gentlemen, we might be going to another extra time. And, oh, we're not going to extra time, because you know why? Kana Biek actually scores the goal that we need to win the UEFA Europa League. His first appearance and his second goal in the Europa League for Manchester United actually gets us the win in the Europa League final. I believe in giving youngsters a chance, and that's what giving youngsters a chance on the biggest stage will do. With all the Manchester United fans going crazy, we have managed to win the UEFA Europa League 3-2 against Benfica. 2 trophies now for Manchester United in 2 years. It ain't the best start, but I promise you we are trying to get somewhere. The Manchester United fans are going crazy because Bruno Fernandes is going to lift up the UEFA Europa League, a fantastic feat for Manchester United. This means we will be playing Champions League football next season and right to the wrong of last season's Europa League loss against Tottenham a couple of years later. But let's go celebrate that UEFA Europa League. 2 trophies in 2 years for Manchester United. Ruben Amorim leading the way. Bruno Fernandes being a great captain, and all those young players helping us. See, so Martinez left due to a bad contract, and then we were just able just to sign him back in free agency. So don't even ask about that. But we signed some players, we sell some players like Elanga, Guay, James Maddison, all great players that we brought in. Dwight McNeil, I think, could have been a good backup left mid. So let's see how we do. First off in the Super Cup against Arsenal, which means they won the Champions League somehow. 89th minute, Martinetti wins the Super Cup for Arsenal. But we managed to get through PSV first, which is great. And then we had Manchester United. And of course, we're not going to beat Real Madrid. I don't know why I said Manchester United. We had Real Madrid. We lost to Real Madrid. But I'll tell you what, we still have another cup final in this rebuild for Manchester United. And it is going to be in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea. Again, we signed all these players. See, this is the one I'm disappointed in the most because we're going on way more with the players that we bought in. But yeah, all we get really is the EFL Cup final, which is great. And Beno passes the ball through to Rasmus Højlund, who I decided to give a chance. And he scores the first goal in the EFL Cup. Rasmus Højlund, 3 appearances, his first goal, and what a way to do it at Wembley Stadium in the Carabao Cup against Chelsea. Right, so Gray gets the ball, passes through to McTominay, has a bit of a touch, through to Cunha, through to Højlund again to score his second, smashes it straight past Aronson to get his second goal in the Carabao Cup final. And so far we are doing absolutely amazing against Chelsea. We should have no problems now. We should have absolutely no problems. I hope Højlund does well at Napoli. I hope he gets his career back on track. But half-time in the EFL Cup final, 2-0 to Manchester United. But then Cunha gets the ball. He decides to have a bit of a run, because why not have the run? Doesn't get challenged, carries on, scores his third in this game. Manchester United will probably go ahead and win the EFL Cup final against Chelsea, which is great, which is absolutely great. They got a goal late in the game, but it doesn't really matter because we still managed to beat our rivals Chelsea 3-1 at Wembley Stadium for the EFL Cup. 3 seasons, 3 trophies. It might be the lowest one, but that means if we screw up in the league, at least we get to play European football, even if it is the Conference League. So Ezri Konsa, go ahead and lift the Carabao Cup, the EFL Cup, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter to me. We have managed to win the cup. And I'm kind of glad we did, because towards the end of the season we faced Aston Villa and we win 2-0. But unfortunately, didn't do that well on the table, so we got to use that Conference League spot. Player of the season, probably won't go to any of our players, so I'll actually tell you who wins. It was actually Jamie Gittens of Chelsea actually manages to win. So we get Adebayo, Barnes in, we loan in a lot of players, sell a lot of players. Big signings for Diamonde and Inicio at the back, because we tried to get rid of those players. So the players that went were Euro and De Ligt. They just didn't want a contract extension. So I thought, hey, we'll bring in some good players. First thing we do is that we smack Bologna 6-4 on aggregate. Then we have Paris FC, not Paris Saint-Germain, Paris FC, which congratulations to them for making it this far. 4-1 on aggregate. FC Midtjylland of Denmark was next, managed to beat them 4-2. And in the semi-finals, Greek side Panathinaikos, we managed to win 4-0 on aggregate. But before we get to the Conference League final, we actually have to quickly stop at Wembley once again for another FA Cup final, but this time up against West Midlands side Wolverhampton Wanderers, which how they made it here, I don't know. Have you seen their form in real life? It's stupid. So we got Højlund, passes the ball over to Fernandes, passes the ball over to Højlund, and we manage to get our first goal quickly in this FA Cup. 1-0 to Manchester United, his first appearance in the Cup and his first goal, which he's doing great at Wembley. Højlund is, he's doing great at Wembley. Then Matoli passes the ball to Gomez, stops, passes it to James Maddison, through to Højlund. What a combination, by the way, to make it 2-0 at Wembley. First appearance, 2 goals for Rasmus Højlund. Every player that I'm resting for the Conference League final on the bench going crazy. Yes, I actually rested players for this. And after a bad cross, we managed to win this game. Aaron Ramsdale, which I actually forgot to mention that we signed Aaron Ramsdale as well as the new backup goalkeeper, catches the ball near the end, keeps a clean sheet in the FA Cup final as we win 2-0 against Midland side Wolverhampton Wanderers. So let's go and lift that trophy. Mate, go ahead and lift the FA trophy, our second FA Cup in this rebuild. We have been doing absolutely amazing in that rebuild. And Vitek was our goalkeeper in the Carabao Cup. We sold him to Wolves and smacked him 2-0. But our final game, the Stadion Europa, we are going to face a team which shouldn't be in this competition because of how good they are. But yet the only other good team in this competition besides us is going to be Atletico Madrid for the UEFA Conference League. But you'll start to see why they're in the competition. We have a great start at the back. Passes it through to McTominay. Passes it through to Fernandes. Great ball over to Benjamin Sesko. Smashes it past Oblak to make it 1-0 in this UEFA Conference League final against Atletico Madrid. A great, fantastic goal by the whole entire team here today in this final. Then Cunha goes ahead, passes it through to Rafael Leo, who's actually been quiet in this rebuild, but not quiet in this final. 2-0 to Manchester United against Atletico Madrid. 20 minutes in. That is absolutely amazing. But then we get a ball. Lamens throws it straight through to Cunha. There's like literally no defenders stopping us from just passing it through to Zesco and getting the third goal within half an hour in this rebuild. This rebuild is considered finished and over because we are 3-0 up in this final. We do get another goal through simulation, just to show you that Benjamin Sesko does get a fourth goal in this final for Manchester United. But after 2 minutes of extra time, that is going to be it. Atletico Madrid 0, Manchester United 4, which means the rebuild is now over. We have managed to actually somewhat save Manchester United. I mean, it wasn't great, but this is better than what Man U fans are getting currently. You got 2 FA Cups, a Carabao Cup, a Europa League and a Conference League. So really what's there to moan about? But the final trophy that we will win in this rebuild is lifted by Ezri Konsa, lifted by some great Manchester United players to win the Conference League 4-0, which is amazing. So let's wrap this all up by one more trophy bus celebration. It has been amazing to rebuild this team somewhat, but Amorim's job ain't going to be saved. We know it, but at least we saved it here. This has been your boy Jay. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. So, you've reached the end of the video. Thank you. That actually goes a long way towards helping the channel. Thank you very much. I hope the video was fun. Hopefully, it was fun. Please make sure to check the other videos out on this channel, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot. Thank you.